I know you wish it was a black label, but there's plenty of those waiting for you after this. Just a quick rundown of today's activities from a brand perspective, as this was one of the many innovations that we've seen from Black Label.
Quena, it feels surreal when I look back on the day. It's almost like, I think the last time I had this kind of out-of-body experience was my wedding, and that was about 10 years ago. Because that takes about 3 months of planning. There are lots of different opinions, there are lots of emotions, there's lots of stuff happening. And then you get to the day, and then it ends up being more special than what you thought it was going to be. You're more emotional than what you thought you were going to be. There's a lot happening on a day like this, and I think it's incumbent on me to thank the teams, to thank Coach Barker, to thank Coach Trevero, to thank the PSL. There's so many people, almost like a wedding, right, who are involved in the background, who are stitching dresses and making cakes and doing all the things that keep a boat like this afloat. So the media, like, we would have been nowhere without you. The fans, like, we had 4 million votes for this tournament. We had 50,000 votes for the Fakigolo Zobona, one of who won 870,000 rand. 870,000.
That's. I mean, let's talk about that. I mean, we spoke about this the other day. Just the money innovations, if I can call it that. And what does that mean for you again as a brand to have this sort of innovations, but that will go a long way in assisting some of these players and sort of giving back, as it were.
Yeah. Quinn, I think what you call money innovations, I kind of see them as energy incentives, because if we ask people to Fagugezi, to bring the energy, we can't just ask them nicely and pretend and hope that they will do that. You have to make it worth their while, and a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. So all of that being said, if you look at the goal counts in the Carling Black Label knockout and in the Carling Cup, there have been lots of goals. And that was the whole mission with incentivizing early scoring, with incentivizing a big man of the match check, with getting fans to care about when that first goal is scored, caring about who gets voted for. All of those kinds of things are very purposeful. They're there for a reason. They're there to drive a certain kind of behavior, and that's the kind of behavior that we as football fans want to see. So whether we're going to adapt some of them for this year's edition, or whether we're going to keep all of them as is, I don't know yet. It's a little bit soon to tell still. But I'm very proud of how everything has worked out. There's so many moments where things could have gone wrong. And there are moments where people are going, this thing is a joke. These people are like the beer cup, this, not. And then you actually see the way that fans watch this game and their reactions. And then the haters can hate, because if people are loving watching this sport, then we love bringing it to them like we love making beer.
Would you say that was key in that traditionally from where we started 11 years ago, Carling Black Label Cup has always been about the fans? Is that basically it?
Our purpose as a brand, Carling Black Label, exists to recognize and reward the champion within. That is in the middle of what this brand is here to do. And everything we do, whether it's make great beer, whether it's no excuse fighting gender violence, whether it's giving power to the fans in football, whether it's putting men back to school to go finish their matrics, all of those things recognize and reward the champion within. So it's very clear the stuff that Carling does. We don't do things outside of that scope, because that's just not who we are.
I was going to ask you which team you are supporting, but Coach Barker is here, so I don't want that answer. just a final one, and we'll take a few questions from members of the media if there's any. But how would you sum up the whole process from day one, in that we're coming with something completely new, completely different from, as I said, 10 years ago, what the Carling Black Label was, and then last year we saw something again completely different, and then this year something again different.
I think it's a testament to people who care about something, because when we care about the work we do, we make beautiful things, and when the players care, they play great football, and when the media cares, they write great stories, and we're here to entertain the fans, and I think that's what we've done. So I can go to bed tonight, I'm going to have to go and figure out, because my budget is a little bit of a problem at the moment. That third-minute goal definitely didn't help. So that's one thing I'm worried about, but as a whole, this entire campaign in my mind, has been a success. I loved watching Stallies make history at Moses Mabhida and raise that trophy. That black trophy in and this beautiful wine red shirt, it was like they were made for each other. So that for me was very special. To hear Charles Langeveld talk about the first trophy that he won, first cup that he won, for me was very special. To see the way that fans reacted to Stallies winning was fantastic. So all of these highlights in if this is a movie, it feels like it's a movie, but it's actual real life.
Any questions for Arne before I move to Coach Barker? Okay.
Thank you very much. This is Omale back from City Press. So I would imagine there's no free master at All-Star. So who's going to receive the money? Who's going to receive the money, and how is it going to be shared?
That's a very fair question. There is no paymaster. I didn't know that was a thing, but I can kind of
Is
intuit
there a
what you're
paymaster
saying.
at Stellenbosch, Coach?
So the way we're approaching the All-Star team is there are 33 men in that squad. They split the winnings evenly. So if they'd lost, they would have gotten 30,000 Rand each, and we will be paying that directly to each one of the players and the staff. So it's not going to a club or to an intermediary, it's not going into an escrow account, it's not going anywhere, it's going straight to that player or the member of staff. But they won. So they're each getting 60,000 Rand for today. And then they scored an 870,000 Rand goal in the 3rd minute.
So does that also go to the players?
That goes to the players and the staff. So each one of the supporting staff, they split that money evenly. There's 33 of them, so it's like a 3% kind of, it works out to about 25,000 Rand each, in addition to the 60. And then Itu, I think, is going to have a great January, because he can add another 100 to that. So I think that's a pretty good day at the office. That's how we're going to do it.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah.
Clifford Joshi, Tomela FM, SABC. Mr. N, I'm not sure if I'll be deviating or what, but look, we all know that ABSA once sponsored PSL, but now, is it something that is on the pipeline? Is it a dream for Kali Black Able to become one of the sponsors for PSL, especially for running the PSL in general, if MultiChoice decide otherwise?
Yes, I don't actually know. We at Black Label, we like focused effort. So we don't like doing many different things like half-half. We choose one or two things and we try and do those things really well. At the moment, this has been a fantastic success. When we set out on this journey, when we briefed this campaign in, we were looking for the next 10 years of the Carling Cup, because we had 10 years of fantastic Chiefs, Pirates, Cup, FNB. That was great, and it's still a fantastic concept, and the people who worked on it are the best marketers that I've ever met. What we were looking for here was, what is the next 10 years going to be? And I think we've got something here that has potential, and we saw lots of potential today on the field. And I think there's potential in this campaign and in this this approach. So we are looking to see how far this thing can go. It's a long way of saying no.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to move on to Coach Barker, right? Oh, here's the one last question, and I'm going to move to Coach Barker.
Good evening, Arne, and the colleagues as well. I think it would be fair to say the attendance here was much better than the final. Would you say you got everything that you wanted in Polokwane? And again, would you also say, having announced the venue of this game early, before even the final, maybe played a huge role in terms of the attendance? Thank you.
I think, sort of. I don't think that if we'd announced it a bit later, it would have made a difference, because the people of Polokwane are just so amazing. Like, if there's a game, if there's a conversation, I haven't had a single negative interaction in the whole week that I've been in Polokwane. Limpopo is this warm, vibrant heart that I don't think I've spent enough time in, and that anybody wanting to look for the accommodation is great, the food is great, the beer's cold. Like, I would recommend Limpopo as a destination. If you want to host a football match, I would recommend Limpopo as a destination. We had, the last number I saw was about 16,500 people through the doors. I think it was probably closer to 17,500, maybe 18. And we had a little bit of rain, which I think was a blessing. that just, it just covered, it just cooled